Hello guys, Dan here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about when it's time to upgrade your PC, and in particular your gaming PC. Now I'm just going to say in the background you are watching some Medal of Honor Warfighter gameplay. I think I did 40 kills and 16 deaths, so yeah, it was just a KD just under 4, but yeah, pretty good game, and it did pretty well, so that's all good. So yeah, back onto the topic of when to upgrade your gaming PC. Now a lot of people ask me, hey Dan, when are you going to upgrade your PC? Hey Dan, when do you need to? Now a lot of my friends have been like, oh, I'll be alright for 2-3 years, then some have been like, oh, well, we'll upgrade it in a year. And then some have been like, oh yeah, 5 years will do, won't it? It'll last 5 years. Now the real answer, guys, is it depends on what kind of performance you want from it. And since I do play games and I really want a 60 FPS, you know, I'm actually willing to turn settings down. And, you know, I will only kind of upgrade my GPU when it comes to a point where I have to turn my settings down to rather low or medium to actually get a 60 FPS. So that's when I will be kind of upgrading. Now, that's kind of the GPU, but in terms of the CPU, I will be upgrading my CPU when I think that it's no longer good enough. Now I have an i5, it's a mid-range i5 processor, and fair enough, it's a quad core, it's very fast, and to be honest with the price, it's you know, miles better in terms of price performance than getting an i7, but shall I say, in my head, I will only really upgrade the i5 when I think you know, it is becoming a possible kind of bottleneck for games, and when videos take, you know, an extreme amount of time to render, that's when I'll be upgrading my CPU. Now, if I kind of record and edit a 10-minute video, it's going to take about 11-12 minutes to render. So if I create like a 20-minute video, it's then going to take about, you know, 22 to 24 minutes to render. That's absolutely fine by me, because that's near enough in real time, and I'm absolutely fine by that. But when it comes to a point where it's taking a lot longer, and say if I start shooting in 1440p or even 4K in the future, it's obviously then going to take a lot longer, and that's when I'll be kind of upgrading my CPU. And then, yeah, as I kind of mentioned, in the gaming aspect, whenever it comes to bottleneck, or when I think it's just becoming a problem, and it's actually letting my graphics card down. So I might upgrade my graphics card before I upgrade my CPU, but you know, we'll have to see, won't we? Now in terms of the RAM, and also the storage now, in terms of the RAM, 8GB at the moment is absolutely fine. But when I think that it becomes a problem again, I will be upgrading. Now, since I do a lot of video editing, 16GB would be nice for me right now, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. So until it becomes necessary, that's when I'll kind of make the upgrade. Now, the main thing is storage. Now, I have 3TB of hard drive space and also 240GB of SSD space. I don't really think I'll be upgrading that for a very, very long time, because, you know, that's like 3.25 terabyte of data. Yeah, 3.25 terabyte of data. That's a lot. Even if we're even filming in 4K, that's still a lot. So I don't think I'll be upgrading that for a long time. But if you guys are kind of running out of space to store games, you definitely do need to upgrade. Now I had my Xbox 360 about half a year ago. You know, I was like, oh man, I've run out of storage. So what I was doing is using my flash drives, and since Microsoft limits 16GB for each flash drive, I then were kind of having to uninstall games and to install them. Same on map packs, I was having to uninstall map packs to install them again. That really drove me up the wall, but I kind of refused to buy an Xbox 360 hard drive just because of how expensive they are compared to, you know, normal desktop hard drives that are in computers. Now, in terms of our computers, the storage, yeah, I think that's absolutely fine as it is. The 3.25 terabyte of storage, that is a lot, you know, that is a lot. And since I'm storing video files for only a short period of time, because once I film them, edit them, upload them to YouTube, and then I kind of delete them. I keep them for a bit, but then, yeah, they're gone after that. They're gone, so I don't really need them. Now, I suppose the last thing that, you know, could possibly be upgraded in an actual computer would be stuff like the CPU heatsink and stuff like the motherboard, or even the case, to be honest. Now, my case is quite large, and I think you've seen that in the previous video where I showed you my gaming setup, and I would only upgrade the case if I were to get like a larger motherboard, or if I had stuff like cooling problems. Now at the moment I have a lot of fans in my PC, and the cooling performance is great. Now the CPU colour I have is the Haber 212 Evo. As again I showed this off in my setup guide. It's like a setup and like desk tour, shall I say. But yeah, in that video I showed you that I had a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. Now, that cooler is nice, and for the price, it's really, really good, to be honest, the performance you get from that. And I am probably not going to be upgrading that any way soon. I mean, it's a really good cooler, and I really don't think I'll be getting rid of that anytime soon. I really don't. And even in future builds, even if I don't upgrade to an i7, that'll be the cooler I'll use because it's good and miles better than the stock one, shall we say. Yeah. Anyway guys, that's going to kind of conclude this video. I hope you've enjoyed, and yeah, I hope you've kind of enjoyed watching the gameplay on screen as well. Got some nice kills, and yeah, the KD is quite good as well, I'll tell you. 40 kills. Very, very good indeed. I like Medal. Medal on a Warfighter. He's really, really good. Anyhow, yeah, just to conclude, when your PC is becoming to slow down or you think it's becoming a potential problem for what you want to do, you will then need to upgrade. I won't be upgrading my GPU or my CPU anytime soon, but if it does become a problem with me editing or gaming, I will then kind of scrap them and get new. But I personally like the 60 FPS when gaming and generally want to play on high or ultra settings, so I'm kind of picky and I probably will be upgrading sooner than what most people will do. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to like, comment and also subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.